Hello everyone. I hope that your day is going good, of course, and it will be ahead after a certain period of time that you would be investing in this session. Of course, in this session, I'll be explaining a bit about SD-WAN and the so-called T-lock terminology that we generally will be using at WAN edges or V edges. So T-lock, what exactly is T-lock and how we can extend it, where we can use it, that will be detailed in this session. In this slide, you can see that we've got 110 series V edges, and it is comprised of two planes. The lower one, the lower module, it is comprised of, it is called as IO module, and the upper one, it is called as control plane. So what exactly is IO module is nothing but it will be having gig interfaces and couple of modules that you can generally use, the fabric modules, and the upper one, it is having CPU and other stuff which will be taking care of controlling the IO module. We've got the switch fabric at the back end. So in control plane, the so-called CPU will be taking care of routing information base, and it will be forwarded, or it will get converted into forwarding information base into IO module. So RIB to FIB, you can say. So this is something which is a traditional routing scenario wherein RIB wherein you've got 110 series, and you'll be also using switch fabrics. Not talking about the 5000 series. So we've got two different types of routings. The first one is traditional and the other one is distributed. The traditional, it will be taking care of data control management. In distributed, you will be having orchestration. Um Generally, the whole SD-WAN module will be divided into four planes, as I've already discussed in the last sessions. The first one is vBond, then we've got vManage, vSmart, and then vEdges. The upper one, management plane and the control plane, will be using vManage and vSmart module, and the lower one, the data plane, will be using vEdges. We'll be using DTLS and TLS, datagram transport locator, and TLS, which I've already explained in the last session, and its differences. What exactly is DTLS? What exactly TLS? So supposedly we've got vSmart and two V edges. The system ID is gonna be like I have already mentioned in this slide, 1.1.1.1, and for VH1 and VH2, the INET and MPLS ID, it's gonna be TLOC. For TLOC 1, it's gonna be 1.1.1.1.10 plus base internet plus IPsec. If you're using MPLS, it's gonna be MPLS and IPsec. Okay, the configuration part I'll be explaining later in detail. This is something which is a brief summary that I would like to flash just to have an idea how it's gonna be. Um, so you can use TLOC at VHS, of course, and the so-called VHS deployment, you can deploy it either by using single edge deployment, like you will be having one connection from the MPLS and the other one from the internet. So from the MPLS, it will be terminating, the so-called link will be terminating in T1, and from internet it will be terminating in T2. And if you got two different VHS and two different links, the scenario is going to be a bit different, of course. The local LAN connectivity will be the same. I mean, there will be a connectivity between the VHS at the LAN side. From MPLS, you'll be having one connection till VH1, and from internet, you'll be having T2, one connection till VH2, which will be terminating in T2. Supposingly you want to extend T1 and T2, like you want to extend MPLS extension, you want to extend T1 lock till VH2 and T2 till VH1, then it can be done. You have to use one more router or L3 switch, or else you can have back-to-back connectivity between VHS and the so-called extensions will be served. If you want to have only one extension, you can configure but generally we do take care of both of them. So generally we deploy dual. If you got one more VH, then you can extend your TLOCs till T5 and T6 from two different service providers. In this scenario, we've got two different connectivities from internet for the different VH devices. The TLOCs are different. You can extend the same. And if you got one internet and one MPLS, it can get extended till different VHs. You need to remember that the so-called T3 extension should be greater than T1 and T4 should be greater than T2. The configuration part I'll be explaining in detail in the next sessions. And this is a brief configuration part that I've detailed in this slide. So in the interface part, you will be describing it as MPLS. Of course, you'll be coming up with the IP address. You will be configuring the IP address. It will be tunnel interface, encapsulation IPsec. Color will be MPLS, redirect. And of course, you have to allow service HTTP and BGP. In BGP routing protocol, you have to configure the address family. It's going to be IPv4 unicast, network, announce the network, neighbor, and then description, of course. So I just wanted to brief about the deployments of TLOC, how you can use it, which protocol you'll be using. I've already explained about DTLS and TLS in the last slide, and more about the so-called modules that we'll be using, the switches, the series. And in this slide, I've explained about TLOC and its extensions. I hope you understood what I wanted to convey. And if you have got any doubts, you can always shout it in comment box. It will be respected and appreciated. Um, and yeah, of course, have a good day ahead. Take care. Bye bye.